Welcome to the Pink Table, where strong women are on the go. We have today Miss Victoria Hunt and we have Miss Scarlette Wimberly. Welcome.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
glad
for
to have you
having us.
ladies here.
Glad to be here.
So we'll go ahead and roll right into it and get things going. So my first question for you ladies would be, what led you to where you are now? Miss Scarlett, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, let me say this. This has been a long journey.
Okay.
It has been a blessed journey.
Okay.
There were some bumps in the road. You know, we are not perfect.
Right.
And life dealt me a hand, and I played the hand that I was dealt.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes we have to go through in order to get to.
That's right.
And in my going through and in my valley time, it was where God showed me the life that he wanted me to live.
Mhm.
And in doing that, I cried. It was some struggles. I had suicide attempts.
Mhm.
But I'm grateful
Mhm.
for that. Even through the bumps in the road, my time of incarceration, I'm grateful for that.
Mhm.
It's what brought me to where I am now.
Okay.
And, you know, I tell people I wouldn't take nothing for the journey that I have gone or the things that I've been through. I wouldn't take nothing for it.
Okay. Okay, Miss Victoria.
I will have to piggyback off of what Scarlett just said. When God transitions you into a place that you would have never thought you would have been in, let alone step foot in, it will humble you. And if you're not humbled after that experience, then it ain't time for you to come home. You know,
Okay.
me being there, I learned a lot about myself.
Being there is
Okay,
like
in
where?
incarceration and behind those walls.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
when someone has to tell you when you can eat, sleep, what you can eat. You know, you can't wear what you want to wear. It's the same colors all day long, or you're looking at the same people all day long. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, why am I here? But there's a reason why you're here.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we go through and we do so much. I learned for myself. I always did for everyone else, but I didn't do for myself. I was always trying to please everyone else. So I took it as God saying, listen, since you won't sit down, I'm going to sit you down and get you to a place so that you can really get to know Victoria. Because when Victoria thought that she knew herself and was happy, I really wasn't happy. I was living a life that everyone else wanted me to live.
Okay.
You know, this fairy tale of me thinking I had to have this marriage and, you know, the big house and the white picket fence and just basically this someone that I wasn't, and I was unhappy. And when I went through my journey, that's what I call it, went through my journey, it made me a better person. It made me love myself more. You know, I realized I'm beautiful on the inside. I don't have to have on makeup just for me to see, hey, this is who you are. And so with all that being said, it helped me get to where I am today.
Okay. Okay. So we're talking about life after redemption. These ladies have been incarcerated. They've come through a really, really long, they've come down a long road, as I have myself. And I can truly say that that lifestyle taught me to be as humble as I am today. It taught me to be fearful of God, because that's the first thing. You know, if you fear God, you can make it. You know, a lot of people
Amen.
don't understand how important that is. But I'm here to tell you, if you have the fear of God in you, you know, something will shake you and make you line back up, you know, because I can remember times when I thought I feared God, but it was just for that moment.
That's right.
You know, I played a while and it was okay. You know, I had to go to deliverance. You know, a lot of people don't understand when you're caught up and you're tied up in criminal activities, that's a demonic spirit
It is.
that has to be cast out. It's not anything that you can just shake off and just say, I'm done with that. You know, I don't care what your spirit is, yours, mine. They are all where you have to deal with them face up. You know, you got to say, okay, devil, I'm ready. I'll fight this battle with you. You know, with me and God, we're going to win this thing and I'm going to keep it moving. So deliverance was my key, you know, and going to prison, having a son, having to leave my son one day. You know, I had him for 24 hours, sent him home. And God strengthened me through that, though. I didn't even cry. I watched my parents leave, his father leave with him. And it was an experience. So, you know, everybody have had theirs, you know, and I can't say, oh, whoa, why me? Why not me? Why not you,
Yes.
Victoria? Why not
Yes.
you, Scarlette? You know, so you have to wonder, you know, you just have to thank God well as it is. Let me say that. So we'll move to our second question, which is, what moment of your life had the biggest impact during your path? You know, going down that path, trying to get back on the right track. You know, what shook you to make you know that this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life? Or let me change something. Let's do something different. You know, what moment did something scare you to that? Did something happen, life threatening? Did you just get tired? I mean, what happened?
I think my biggest thing for me is being away from my children. Having to see my parents and my ex-husband raise my children and me not being there, them come to visit me. The good thing is where I was at, I was able to have hands-on with them. So to be able to hug them and see them. And when I left, my boys were 5 and 6, and my baby boy was 5 weeks old. So just imagine, as you just stated, having a baby that you're literally, are having to hand over and not raise.
Right.
And for me, there are some people that I say deserve to be there. Then some people, they're just like, like, why? They really brought you here for 4 months for a DUI? Like, and I was away for 3 years, and those 3 years seem like forever. We don't realize how much changes within that time being gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can remember when my parents picked me up and they gave me a cell phone. Now, I would see cell phones from being back, you know, in unicorn and stuff, but I didn't even know how to turn a phone on. That's just how crazy things was. And then having to come home and deal with everyday life. My children were different. I was different. My family was different. And I just couldn't, I felt like I could not do it anymore. Some people don't even know I tried to commit suicide, not once, but twice. And every time, it was like God sending my kids in to stop me, not even knowing what I was going to do.
Right.
And after that last time, I will never forget, I had a bottle of Tylenol pills sitting on my nightstand. And I said, I'm just going to take these pills because I know, I'm reading up on how to commit suicide. Because I felt like, I don't need to be here. My parents could just raise these kids. I can't deal with life. And I remember my son was like, Mama, can I sleep with you tonight? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait till he go to sleep. He wouldn't go to sleep. He was up. He was playing. He was all up under me. And I knew then, it was like God hit me and said, you're being selfish. These are your children. I'm so much more than what I thought that I was not. It was like the devil wanted to come in. After everything that I've survived the worst, you brought me back to the better, to the greater. And you already told me you was going to give me back everything that I thought that I lost. But I could not see it because he had a hold on me. But I thank God that I had a praying mama and a praying father, family who were fighting for me, not even knowing what I was going through. And I feel like at that moment, that last attempt, my child being there is what helped save me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put on my big girl panties and I can do this. And I told myself, when my daughter turned 1, I wanted to start back working. And my boss gave me a chance. He didn't have to give me a chance. I mean, I was an ex-convict, you know. But he gave me a chance. And I made a promise to myself, whomever's job I go on, if they give me a chance, I will prove to them why I will make you a great employer, why I will help get your business where it needs to be even more.
Right.
And for him giving me that opportunity, it helped me succeed and to be where I am. I had to fight now. Because let me tell you, sales
Well,
is not easy.
Yeah, I'm going to say to you ladies that a lot of people don't know this, but mentally, you have to be really strong to
Yes.
survive after incarceration.
Yes.
You've got to be really, really strong. And I mean, only the strong survive.
Yes, Lord.
And only the wise exhale. You got to know that because there's no other way. I was thinking when I came home, I cried every day because so many things was different.
Yes.
My sisters, they would say, "Why you keep crying?" And I said, "I just can't get it together. Everything has changed. My son was 3. I never nurtured him as an infant. And it was just, places was torn down. The city looked different. And I was just like, how am I going to deal with this? This is a lot, you know?
Listen.
And then, the part when you get to about wanting to get a job that you can support your kids without going back into the world, doing worldly things, that was the hardest part for me.
Yes.
But Scarlett, I'm going to let you reiterate on what she just said.
Let me piggyback on what both of you ladies said. For me, February 16th, 2011. It was that day for me. It was either going to be you're going to walk out of here with your head held high,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to hold your head down in shame, and you're going to let the world dictate who you're going to be from here on out. Y'all, that was you. If you all know the holding time before you go home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that was the most fearful time of my life.
Wow.
But when I got up that next morning, I said, "Okay, God, today is a new day.
Mm-hmm.
This is the day that I will not let anybody talk down to me.
Amen.
You can't tell me you're this, you're that." Now, did I get that coming from a little small town? Of course. You know what the word on the street was going to be. Child, she home. What she going to do now?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, you know she been locked up. Child, ain't nobody going to give her no job.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I excelled. I got me 2 full-time jobs
That's it.
with benefits.
That's it. That's it.
2 full-time jobs
it.
with benefits.
So what would you ladies say to a woman that has walked the same shoes that you all have walked? What would you say? What advice would you say to them if they can't quite shake it, if they can't quite get it together? What would you say?
I would just personally tell them, don't give up. Keep fighting the good fight. Nothing comes easy. If it comes too easy, run.
Right.
You know,
nothing good comes easy.
Success doesn't come or happen overnight.
Right,
You know, and
right,
I think
right,
we
right.
all can agree, even to where we are now, there still be some days where we may have and we may struggle. You know, there may be some days you're going to have PTSD and you're just like, okay, Lord, help me shake this. Help me shake this now.
Right.
And you'll be fine. Surround yourself around positive,
Positive.
praying people. If
Right.
they can't feed into your life spiritually, then you don't need to be around them.
Okay. What you think, Scarlett?
Well, I just as you said, positivity, prayer. It takes a lot of praying.
Yes, Lord.
It takes a lot of praying. But in praying, for me, I knew I had to get counseling. And, as black people, we think that mental health counseling
Yes.
is a taboo. We aren't to get mental health counseling. And, for us, suicide is shunned upon. But for me, I had to get counseling. And I tell people, had I not sought counseling, and I waited until after I got out to get counseling, because I knew that in order for me to be who God wanted me to be, I had to face what I was truly dealing with on the inside that led me down that road. And so I sought counseling. And I
Okay.
tell people, I'm not ashamed. I still go.
Okay.
Every 3 months,
Whatever
I have to
works.
go sit.
Right.
And that's the thing that
And I
we
have to
as
get it.
individuals have to know. Whatever works.
Yes.
You can't worry about what worked for Victoria
That's right.
if it's you or if it's me. It's what worked for me, I sought counseling while I was there. I had to get rid of a lot of things. I had to talk about a lot of things so that I could overcome a lot of things. And it really, really helped me. And I then prayed and I told God, I said, don't release me until I have something to go back out with. So I earned my GED while I was in prison. So that was such an honor for me. And I took my test one time after being out of high school 20 years, and I passed. And 2 weeks later, I got my release date. So I know God was listening to me, because I thought I had a gift of gab. I just want people to know that don't work. I need the people that are coming up now to understand, you can do a lot of slick talking. You can, scheme, play games to get through things and think nobody is noticing. God is a God that don't miss.
Yes, ma'am.
God see all. You may can hide from your parents, from your family, from your brother, your sister, but God see all. He don't miss. So, my advice to people today is to remember there's no hiding place.
Yes.
Just straighten up and do the right thing. And I know they may say now that's easy for me to say, but it's easy for me to say because I've been that person that thought I could get away with different things. That was not lawful. And I had to pay the piper for that. And because I had to pay the piper, that's why I am who I am today. I've had people say behind my back, well, how she been to prison and she could buy a house? Or
I'm a living
how
witness,
she got
girl.
a business and she can do this and she did that. Earning your respect back in society, that's a big thing for me.
Yes, ma'am.
I had to go through a lot. I was whispered upon when I walked into rooms. I was talked about for a long time. So, earning my respect back, that means everything to me. I won't jeopardize that for nobody.
Nobody.
So that's why I try to walk by God's principles daily as much as I possibly can. So, that's one of the things that, I had to add to that. And I wanted to ask you ladies, how can you personally create a change in the city current environment if you had the opportunity?
The biggest issue I see in this environment now is the peer pressure, and some of these kids, well, not just kids, but also they need someone that they can mentor them, like some mentor programs for them to be able to go into, not just for them, but for their children as well. I don't really talk a whole lot about my situation, but if I'm at work, sometimes God will lead women to me who have gone through what I've gone through and they feel ashamed, or they may be through an abusive relationship, and God may put it on my heart for me to tell them, hey, this is what I went through. And they're like, no way, like, you don't even look like it. You don't have to look like what you've gone through.
Right.
And I truly feel like with us having that, it would better some of the things you see women going through. Like, they won't be ashamed. And just to piggyback on something that you mentioned about taking medication, in the black home, would be like, oh, you don't need no medication, just pray about it. But sometimes, like you said, what works for you will help you, because I had to get on anxiety medication just to deal with everyday life and even my children. But then I got to a point where I prayed and I said, Lord, I need you to help release me off this medication, because I want to live a regular day and not solely have to
depend
on medication. And when I finally went and weaned myself off, I'm so much better. And it helped me find the peace that I needed to as well.
Yes.
Well, I totally agree. Mentorships. I really wish that the Department of Corrections had programs for women who are getting ready to get out, where they would allow women like us that have gone through what they're going through to actually come in and prepare them, tell them what to expect, give them some advice.
Because it's shocking.
Yes.
It's shocking.
It's
When you're
life-changing.
gone away, it's life-changing. It's very shocking. You come home, you hoping that things haven't changed. But, we've gone through so many different catastrophes in the world lately. You think about this. We had a flood of 94. I was incarcerated. Only one in my family, lost everything. I didn't know God was cleaning me up, getting me ready for who he had called me to be. I couldn't understand. I was like, why did I have to lose all my stuff? I got to start over when I get out. I don't have no money, and those are some of the worries that we have. So as you were saying, that would be phenomenal if somebody could come up with a program where they have women that have already gotten out and can kind of ease the way for the ones that are yet to come home?
Yeah, because there are programs. I got into a program when I got out, and that's because I sought counseling.
Right.
And there are a lot of programs, but they're not open. They're not openly or readily available. It's not like it's listed. Well, get out and you go see these people. They can help you with housing. They can help you with clothes. They don't have that. And I got into the program because a friend of mine told me about it. I told her, I said, look, I got to get counseling. I said, that's the only way I'm going to survive being free. I got to get counseling, and I got to do this for me. And it led me on the right path. And, me getting injured on my job in 2013, and it was like, okay, God, what am I going to do now? What, I don't have a job. What am I going to do? That's how I started in the business that I'm in.
Okay, and what is your business?
PBS Photography and Media.
Okay.
Started out, never used the camera. Never used the camera.
And you are amazing at what you do.
Thank you. And the camera was my daughter's camera. And I picked it up one day, and it was like, okay, Lord, just started playing with it. And it just blossomed. And a lot of people don't believe it. I don't advertise. Y'all don't see any advertisements from me no more than during the holidays. Word of mouth. Even with being published in the New York Times, the LA Times, Ebony, Forbes. Getting ready now to start doing business with city governments, doing business with schools. All of that stuff comes from word of mouth. So, it's like, it was, how you used to just have to, you take jobs to make it.
Right.
Their jobs now I don't have to take to make it. Everything is laid. God has the foundation laid. I spoke to God what I wanted to do with my business. My pastor, Rod Carter, spoke into all business owners in 2018. He stood us up the first Sunday in January, and he told me, he said, you will be in national magazines. He said, you're going to be on a national platform. I didn't see it then. Here we are 4 years later, it has come to pass. So, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And, who would have ever thought out of everything that I've gone through? That's why I tell people it was in the valley that I grew. Right. Even through the suicide attempt, just like you said, it was in the valley that I grew. I had to go through in order to get to. That's right.
So if you could have that program, if you could start that program yourself, what resources would you need from the community to help that come to fruition?
Mainly mental health. That's it, mental health, because like I say, it's the mentality. I would need mental health. I would definitely need people from housing, some housing resources, clothing resources, because you're going to have women and men that get out that are going to have nothing. You got some people that have to start from scratch. If they don't have a support system, they got to start from scratch. I think for us, the three of us, our support system is what kept us. So, the resources would be, mainly mental health.
Okay.
Like I say,
and one thing I want to add to this conversation that we're having, ladies, is the person that are coming home, they have to have a ready made up mind. It start with you now. You can't blame everybody.
That's right.
It start with you. I mean, when you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I tell you guys, I had a young lady that I used to run the street with. I'm going to say it just like that because that's what I mean. She came to pick me up. She was glad I was home. I looked out the window and I saw her. And I started riding with her again. She was still doing the same thing. One day I woke up and I looked in the mirror. I said, so you going to go down this same road again? I had to talk to myself. From that day to this one, which have been 25, 30 years ago, I've been walking upright and trying to do the right thing. Right. I never answered her call anymore. When she came by, I told my sisters, y'all can tell I ain't home. I said, I'm going to do this. I begged for a job at Krispy Kreme Donuts like it was Miller's. That job brought me through. When I tell you, people don't understand what it means to start from the bottom. When you start from the bottom,
come on here,
you know how to appreciate when God bless you with more. If God can't trust you with a little, What makes you think he gonna give you a lot?
Yes.
And a lot of people want a lot from the beginning.
No,
But a
ma'am.
lot is not what they're ready for.
No,
And
you
if
don't
you're not
appreciate it.
ready for it, he's not going to give it to you. God is a God that don't miss.
And when
He
you start
don't
over from
miss.
the bottom to get to where you're at, you appreciate
You
it
appreciate
more.
it. Yes, and that's the thing. And see, a lot of people, they just want to see themselves going straight up the ladder, not starting from average or not starting from, like we say, the bottom or whatever. They don't want to do that. But they got to change their mindset. It's the mindset of the people that has to be changed that are coming into the free society from behind closed doors. So, you have any resources that you would need if you started something that you desired for women that are coming out of prison?
Well, there's two girlfriends of mine that I was incarcerated with. They both have different programs. They're in two different. Well, one is in Atlanta, and I think the other one is in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's where Charlotte is. But that they do. But like Scarlette said, it starts with a correctional facility because they tell you, oh, you'll be able to do this when you get out, or you take these classes, but it's nothing like that.
Right.
If they had programs to really help transition you, because they say, well, we're going to put you in the halfway house first and then help transition you. But no. They're going to give you some vouchers to go use at the Goodwill, and that's limited, and then you're going to get a bus pass. But again, thank God we had a support system, to be able to help us out, because you have to start from the beginning all over. It's like, what am I going to do? And I was there with girls who were just like, what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. And here I am saying, well, let me try to help you do this. Let me try to help you do that.
It's scary.
And
it's really scary.
I was in Macon and I lived in Leesburg. So me being able to come home on the weekends kind of helped me out, and having people to be able to be in those places. The good thing is, I told people your character will carry you a long way. Even though I went through what I went through, my character is what kept me afloat. So people who were police officers, probation officers, lawyers, judges, it was nothing for them to, hey, telling my dad, well, what does your daughter need? What can we do to help her? Da-da-da-da-da. A lot of people don't have that.
Right.
So-
a lot of people
so it's
don't
like-
have that.
If they could be able to help, if the facilities can be able to help with a program to say, hey, you're 6 months out, okay, you're about to start transitioning. We're going to put you in this program, and we're going to help transition you back into ABCD. Now, if you do wrong, we're going to put you back in population, and you're not going to be able to do these things. And I think that would help them in their mindset to be able to go out. Because
So basically, you all are saying that you think someone should get in touch with the prison system
yes.
and give them an idea about starting a program before they actually
Yes, ma'am.
is back into free society.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's a really good idea. And I just know that a changed mind could be a changed life.
Yes.
And I just encourage any woman or man that is watching this and feel like they can't press on, don't give up, and know that there is help out there.
Yes.
So we have some resources here, ladies. I just appreciate you all for coming today. It has been great. If you have some encouraging words you want to say in our closing, feel free to. I'm going to get the resources together, and I'll read them after you all share your encouraging words.
I would just say, just stay in the race, because it does get greater later. And
Right.
remember, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
I just want to leave them with this. Soon as I stop worrying how the story ends, I let go and I let God have his way.
Yes.
That's when things start happening. I stopped looking at back when. I let go and I let God have his way.
Yeah.
All right. So I will say she got me tearing
I
up.
know.
I
Let
will
the doors of
say
the church
to
open.
anyone that's listening, everybody that is incarcerated is not bad people.
No.
Everybody that's incarcerated is not people that don't have any gifts or talents. They just chose to go down the wrong road at that moment. So please, if the people hearing us today could please have some sympathy in your heart to know that that could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been you. Nobody knows why but God why we chose to go down the road that we went down. But I'll tell you today, that road made me be who I am today.
Amen.
And I've earned my respect back in society. I even earned a new name. I was 40 some years old and they started calling me Miss Q. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because you know what? That let me know I was doing something right. I've impacted somebody's life in a positive way. So if you want to put a handle on it, I take it. I'll thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm going to tell you all about these resources. We have Albany Second Chance. That number is 229-883-3440. We have Seeds That Grow. That number is 229-573-7304. We have South Georgia Stars Academy. And this particular organization sticks out to me because I have a love for youth. I feel like if you can catch them young, they may not take that road that I took at 30 something. You know, so South Georgia Stars are doing great things in the city. They did a free summer program. They're now gearing up to do an after school free program. They're over on Broad Avenue. So that number for them is 229-869-8747. Moms, don't leave the kids home after school this year. It's somewhere they can go for free, so there's no excuse. And there's another one, a place for the number 4, Hope. That number is 229-435-1428. And then need I tell you that the United Way, that's another awesome organization that we have in our community. You can call 211, and that 211 number can give you different resources that I didn't call out that may be out there that you don't know anything about. And then last but not least, Miss Tarsha Lanier, she's spearheaded an organization called The Bus Stop. And I really think that's a cool name. I like it. And it's a program where she mentor young women who are in need of a second chance. I'm all about a second chance.
Oh, yeah.
All of my employees been second chances. Yes. Most of them, because I want somebody to do for them what someone had to do for me. Yes. So that's near and dear to my heart. I was tossed around, treated bad, paid the less on jobs, everything, but I took it till I got to where I need to be. You know, sometimes you just have to suck it up.
That's right.
Got to be a big girl and suck it up. So her program is about second chance and how to use their gifts and talents into a profitable business. She's going to teach them about credit, business credit, or getting their personal credit right. She's going to teach them how to get an LLC. She's going to walk them through those steps so they won't be out there by themselves trying to find a way. So, you know, for that reason, we bless Miss Lanier for that. Mm-hmm. You know, that's an awesome thing. Yes. And we bless the Brady's for the South Georgia Stars Academy. And we just thank all the resources, all the people. I thank Rosalind Fowler for helping me, Fliggins for giving me some of these resources. She told me, let her know what I needed, you know, so that she could help me with this. So there are some people out there that care. And again, ladies, I appreciate you guys for your time, your effort, your honesty. And thank you so very much. And you all have a blessed afternoon.